What's going on, everyone, and welcome to Spiral Out Podacst, side stage poster drop, where we're going to be talking about the posters as they drop in Europe for the Tool 2022 European Tour. Our guests today are CJ Harris and the return of the king, Joey Crumbles. So on the call right now, we have CJ Harris. CJ, where do you live? I forget.
South Alabama, almost on the beach near Gulf Shores.
That's completely across the country from me.
You know, it's backwoods mostly, but I mean, there's a lot of tourists in the summertime.
So for those listening, CJ hasn't been on the show yet, but I met CJ very early on when I started getting into the poster stuff, and you were super helpful to me, and we met in New Orleans.
Yeah, I have a lot to say with posters, and usually people, they got a lot of questions, and I usually have a lot of answers for them because I'm so invested in all types of posters. And I try to help people as much as I can. You know, I remember you had a million questions.
Yeah, I asked a lot of probably ridiculous stuff. I think I caught on pretty quickly.
Yeah, I'd say you did. Yeah, you did pretty good.
You've been doing poster stuff for how long? Long time?
Not super long. I got in it right at the end of the last tour. Man, as soon as I seen that Indianapolis poster, I knew I had to have it. The Indianapolis, the Alex Gray, the Mystic Guy. Yeah. When I seen the Mystic Guy, I knew I had to have it. I got into it, and I seen Miles Johnson's work, and I fell in love with his work. And that became my grail, and I absolutely love all of his work.
Miles Johnson is nuts. I'm starting to get really into Alan Williams stuff.
Oh, yeah. Alan Williams lives like an hour from me on Ocean Springs, Mississippi.
That's awesome. I'm trying to get him to come on the podcast. It's a touchy thing to try to get artists on the show. So joining us right now is the very popular Joey Crumbles. Have you ever met Joey?
I don't think so. No, I don't think I have. But I mean, we've talked back and forth. We've always been good with each other.
Yeah.
What's up, Joey?
What's going on, guys?
What's going on?
So on the call right now, we have CJ Harris and Joey Crumbles. You've guys talked before, correct?
I believe so.
We chit-chatted a while back, but I don't think we talk a lot, though. But, I mean, we're always good with each other.
Nice. And we're here today to talk about Stockholm, Sweden, Blessed Hand Drop, and just the European prints in general.
Yeah, I really want to see one in person to make my final decision. It looks real grainy, like it lost a lot of detail. And the colors don't look like they fade out quite as well. But that could be a good thing for certain prints or a bad thing. It all depends.
Are you talking about the Sweden one or the Tampa or the Audi one?
Well, the Addy, I mean, it looks real grainy in the Cleveland variant. The hand and the eye look a little blotchy. You know, it's not very detailed. You can't see the lines in it quite as good. But that's just from pictures. I need to see one in person. But it doesn't. It looks like it lost detail.
What about you, Joey?
Well, I think that I kind of expected Europe to drop all variants. I'm not really surprised at seeing this. I can't say that I'm super impressed, but you know, I'm not a big Alex Gray fan to begin with. But again, it's right on par with what they did last tour, so I kind of expected this.
Yeah, I'm not surprised either.
You know, it's funny. We have the Mystic Eye now. We have the Blessed Hand. I'm wondering if we're going to get like other body parts eventually in Tool's career. Maybe like a
leg.
Yeah. Or like
We certainly got enough penis.
Right. Yeah. I was hoping for like instead of a Mystic Eye and a Blessed Hand, what about a psychedelic dick?
Yeah, a blessed dong.
Close up of an ear or something, just to throw people off.
Yeah, trippy nipple.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a couple of titties also on the last tour. So
yeah.
I do think this poster it's very saturated. It seems like.
I don't know. I think all this stuff looks pretty busy.
Well, I mean, like I was saying, I think the Tampa variant, you know, that would be a better look for it. I like the negative of the Philly variant. I love that. I think that's pretty awesome. Whatever they're, but it's not working.
I guess I kind of expected all of this, like I said. So, I looked at like whatever the top 5 prints from the tour were. I think we're going to see variants of those. And I think that we'll probably see 2 variants each. True to form so far. I mean, it hasn't been impressive, but it's been kind of expected.
Yeah, signed Belmont variant. Like, how would that work?
That was my next question is, all right, so if the top 5 prints of the tour are going to get 2 variants, what were the top 5? Obviously, we've seen 3 of them. What do you think the next 2 are?
My guess would be Deborah Sheedy's other particle print and a Belmont. That's what I would think.
Why Deborah Sheedy?
Well, she did a lot of work for him on the vinyl. I think she lives in Ireland. She would probably, if she was going to get a Euro print, she would be one of them. She lives over there.
Yeah, I used to think like that until, this tour. Because we could have seen Chet in LA if that was the case. We could have seen a whole lot of things go down in a lot of different ways. I think that the Alex Gray thing was a decent start. The negative great turn was pretty cool. I feel like the Audi was a top 5, and I'll be the first one to say that I would love to see a Tulsa on red instead of blue.
Oh, yeah. Tulsa's my favorite, so I agree with that.
That would be wild.
I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on that print. It's in person, it is bad as fuck, dude. I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on the Houston print also. Max, that background is sweet.
But what do you do with that print? I mean, so some of them, like the Audi, they changed the grain, it seems like, in a few, just like the texture. So I'm just curious what they would do to Houston to make it different.
Just render the background a different color.
Yeah, or make it not on foil.
Yeah, I mean they did the same thing basically with all of the Bugs tour. Some of them are felt, some are foily.
Red foils, mirror foils.
The pink one from Nampa is awesome. There's a whole bunch of things that they could do. Of course, I'm not in charge of that. I think that they probably could have done a little bit better with the planning of the prints. I feel like now that we've seen a bunch of variants come out,
What do you mean
Europe
by?
better?
What do you mean?
Europe better get their Anaheim is what I'm saying.
Okay, you want them to get a little bit. I don't want to say.
Where's
shitty.
their lemon?
Yeah, where's their lemon? I mean, what you mean by planning is that what you mean? You just hope they get a lemon.
It seemed like the second leg of the tour was backloaded with just banger after banger. It felt like they had gone so far away from what we had kind of come to know, which was like dark art kind of. It seemed like there were no bona fide, oh my God, prints on the first leg.
What about the Adrian Cox?
Oh,
I'm
not a big Adrian Cox fan, so I'm glad.
Same.
Yeah, I love Miles Johnson, but not Adrian Cox, which is usually people like both of them and don't like either of them. I like one of them, but I get it. It's a cool poster.
I was lucky enough; it was the first VIP that I had, so it holds a special place. I really dig its art. I didn't get any artist prints though; those shits were expensive.
Yeah, anybody who's a sucker for foil will love it. I mean, it's not a bad poster. It's just I don't want to spend that kind of money on it. So.
Yeah, I got shut out in Vegas, so I don't know anything about it.
It also may hold a sour taste in your mouth then.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's great to not get totally shut out, but that's what happened to me in Vegas. I got 0 T-shirts and I got 0 prints. And there was really nothing that we could do about that. It's just the way that it worked. I did score a drumhead from Vegas 3 days later in Salt Lake City. I was like, hell yeah, I got something from Vegas, but that was it.
That's not bad. I mean, I am eventually going to look for drumheads from Vegas when I'm not so broke from this tour. But,
cool. Well, let's stay friends then, huh?
Yeah. I'm surprised neither of you brought up like Mark Brooks variant. Do you think that would be something they would do? I haven't seen any variants of his prints ever, but
that's why I don't think there'll be a variant. But
I don't think so either.
I don't think he's that type of artist. He might. Who knows? I don't know.
I mean, they obviously.
I would like to see one just with a different. Just all it is that they're just rendered different colors, which is fine. It's pretty attractive if you're gonna go after the set and then frame them up. It's always awesome to see people's frame ups, and having a second one would certainly change the scope of things a little bit.
Because from what I've seen on variants in general, when they do them in different countries, aside from the Mystic Eyes, they don't tend to be drastically different. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but like all those Cleopatras were relatively the same, dark to maybe red, maybe blue, some were rainbow. And then now these ones, at least the Great Turn in the first show in Denmark was, that's drastically different than the Philly.
Yeah, and Audi had the progression, evolved. So you had like Brooklyn, San Diego, Memphis,
that's right,
Perth, and Melbourne. It was kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. Thank you for bringing that up. I had a Perth that I got from Cleveland, and then I traded it for a Spokane Adrian Cox, and I missed it. I was sad that it was gone, so I ended up trading something else to get one back from somebody else. I like the Perth that much.
Yeah, I had all three and at different times. I wanted to get the set, but then I gave up, and then I got the other one on my luck. I tried to get them again and then didn't get it. So I've kind of got a salty taste with those Addies.
Yeah, I started collecting them on accident because they had Melbourne and then they had Perth available. I missed both of those, but ended up trading for them. Same thing with the Trolls. They had green Trolls available. They had purple Trolls available. And I actually collected the set for like 4.5 seconds and then started trading them away again because I had it. And, am I going to frame all 4 of them? Probably not, So I just started moving them to people that are interested in that. It would make sense to see more prints like that where they're simply rendered a different color. It's easiest. I don't know who their European printer is, but it would be really easy to go, okay, now we want these, but in this color and these in this color.
Do you think that they would ever bring back a print from a previous tour? And the only reason I ask this is because I've heard rumors of a gold Mystic Eye.
Well, my first thought is I would love to see another Cyberman. That would be cool. Another Cyberman or X-Ray Berlin, either one of those would be pretty cool again. Just saying. Come on, Emmett, help us out.
That'd be wild if they brought back something like that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think that Emmett is going to do any more tool prints.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. Yeah.
But I'm right there with you. I mean, I would like to see another something else from Emmett.
Who owns that, right?
I'm not a lawyer.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that Tool's artwork or is that Emmett's artwork? Could they reprint another variant?
Yeah, I don't know.
I know that there's other people that are probably listening that know the answer immediately, but not me.
Yeah, not me either.
If somebody doesn't answer that within the comments, I will definitely ask the next artist I talk to whether or not they're able to still use that artwork as their own. All right, guys. Any lasting thoughts on what's been going on in Europe?
I purposely ducked the top 5 question because I believe that needs more than a 15-minute podcast.
Well, let's set up an episode for that. I mean, for everybody listening, it wouldn't hurt if you just rang off what you think your top 5 are, and we'll bring you back for a full episode. Everybody loved your episode. I plan on having you on a bunch.
Well, yeah, it was fun, and a lot of people reached out to me too and asked for more, and all I could do was say that I'm not the boss, and that's such a great feeling because I don't have to organize any of it. I just show up and party.
I appreciate when you do show up.
If you want my top 5, I'll give you my top 5.
I fucking want your top 5, yours and CJ's.
My top 5 are going to be Tulsa, Houston, Tampa, Phoenix, and to Tacoma.
Yeah, my top 5 is Tulsa, Belmont. I'm gonna have to put NOLA in there because I was there, and I love the print. I don't think it's most people's top 5. And then,
I love NOLA, by the way.
Yeah, I do too.
I think people sleep on that print too.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the Great Turn Philly because I feel like that's a staple for the tour. And then Cleveland, 2 Alex Gray prints. Yeah.
If I had to pick out of both of your 10, obviously the Cleveland Great Turn already got a variant. I really like to see that Tulsa be a variant. That would be awesome. You describing it. I don't have one personally. I hope to get one eventually, but that one is just so detailed and there's so much going on. It'd be awesome to see. I have a feeling we're going to get a Belmont eventually.
Good guess.
I think Belmont is probably a pretty safe guess. It didn't crack my top 5 only because honestly I haven't seen it. I don't have one. I collected a complete set of prints. Most of them are signed. I don't have a Belmont, and I feel like if we were to get a Belmont variant, it would just make it even harder for me to get a regular one. You know what I mean? They're so sought after.
There's a guy in Vegas who is looking for a Vegas drumhead who happens to have a Belmont.
I can get you a Belmont real quick.
For real. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on. This was awesome. And, we're going to do this a bunch for the rest of the European tour and probably do it for some Pucifer stuff and maybe even the 9 Inch Nails one. So I hope you guys come back.
Yeah, I'm going to a few 9 Inch Nails shows too.
Great. I would love to talk to you when you go. I'm hoping to go to a couple myself. So again, thank you guys for coming on. CJ Harris, Joey Crumbles, again, 2 of my favorite people in all these groups. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me, dude.